Hello everybody and welcome to the guide to the Shenzun Tunnels quest. Yes, I'm running a warrior and that was my bar. It's pretty simple. Livia's pretty much a curses thing with all that sort of stuff. We've got a regular panic. We've got a defensive spirit guy, an offensive spirit guy, generic invoke lightning, a healer, necro, and another curses dude with pain of disenchantment. So we're going to be doing this in normal mode, but pretty much the same kind of tactics apply. Oh, that was a lot of information to throw out in the very start of this guide. Yes, the wiki currently, at the time of recording, says to go out from Matu Keep. I would recommend going from Sunjiang District, because it is a little bit faster, and you get to fight some of the new Ampha mobs, which should be fairly easy. Just be careful not to pull too many mobs, because the monks, they have healing burst, and the necros have a lot of support skills, so they can be fairly difficult to kill. As you can see here, I've sped all this footage up because it's all sort of the same old thing. And yes, you don't need to see me killing everything. Well, you don't need to see me killing everything in real time. Okay, so I would recommend not using Discord Way, or at least not using the Discord caller build, because these mobs have a lot of removal skills like purge conditions, remove conditions, foul feast, remove hex, and a lot of the enemies have that kind of thing built into them anyway. So right here we're coming up to the quest marker where you see a bunch of people. What I would recommend is coming in from this angle and flagging your heroes at the top of this hill somewhere, and aggroing these guys yourself, at which point they will all become allies and all follow you. Now don't worry about keeping them alive, because A, they aren't that good despite being level 28, and B, they die incredibly easily. So for this quest, pretty much just stay at the top of this hill. If you try and defend that area that the quest marker's pointing at, you will be overrun. Guaranteed. You will not be able to kill afflicted fast enough, because these things come from several different directions and it's going to be a massive pain in the arse to deal with. So grab a longbow and pull everything as far back as you can. Also take your time, because you see here, as I'm pulling these guys, on the north side of the map there's another group of afflicted coming in at the same time too. So I'd recommend just waiting for all these groups to stop spawning and pulling them very, 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 very carefully back to where you are. And here I'm going to speed all the footage up, and you see we're getting overrun, we're getting back aggro and things, but the team holds up. I'm going to talk about the afflicted skills. These new afflicted have dual professions and they're a lot harder to kill, so focus the monks, the necros, Ellies, then I would say Rits, Mesmers, and whatever else. They all have afflicted soul explosions as well. Rangers will leave a thing behind which it will leave a trap behind which deals damage over time. Ritualists will deal loads of damage to your summoned creatures and burn everyone for a certain amount of time. Warriors knock you down. Assassins speed up their allies' attack speed and movement speed. Monks will remove hexes and heal close by allies. Necros, I'm not sure what necros do because I've completely forgotten. I don't know what mesmers do. Ellies, I think they just do a whole bunch of damage when they die, but don't take my word for it. And seeing as the rest of this footage is just basic stuff, I'm going to quickly go over the ministry skills. Despite them dying, they try to actually do some things. The monk has a skill which gives him more holy damage on attacks, and then all adjacent foes lose 1 enchantment, and that has an end effect which is exactly the same too. The Ellie, which is a death charge starburst guy, which is really quite ridiculous, has an AoE skill which deals a bit of damage over time, and then when that ends, all foes in the area lose 1 enchantment and all allies lose 1 hex, which is nice. The warrior gives him a stance which gives him a few attacks which deal a bunch of damage, and this is the last mob by the way. And if these attacks are blocked, then he loses a hex and the enemy loses an enchantment. Finally, the ranger gives a trap which will remove a hex from adjacent allies and remove an enchantment from adjacent foes. And that is the end of the quest. I've talked quite a bit there, and I'm just gonna run into the sewage and sit down in it for some disgusting reason. I don't know why I did that, but that's quite funny. So, good luck with that quest.